Let's have a look at how we can add and subtract fractions where they have different denominators. So if they've got a different denominator, we need to use equivalent fractions, and the ideas that we've looked into there to make the denominators the same. So for example, let's have a look at what we've got here. I've got a third, and I can draw that as 1/3, and I've got 2/9, so I'm going to separate that into ninths like so, and so I have 1/3 there, and I have 2/9 here, okay, and I want to add those two together. So you can see at the moment they're not the same denominator. What I need to do is I need to think about those denominators. I've got a 3 and I've got a 9, and I've got to think, what is the lowest common multiple? All right, so LCM. What is our lowest common multiple of 3 and 9? So if I take the number 3 and I multiply it by 3, I'm going to get the number 9. Awesome. So I'm going to leave that 2/9 alone. I'm not going to touch that 2/9. What I am going to do is I'm going to take that third and I'm going to separate them out into ninths. So I'm splitting them up into ninths, so they are now the same. All right. So what I want to do is, I know that 3 times 3 is equal to 9, so I need to multiply this fraction top and bottom by 3. So that's going to give me 3/9, which is the same as what I see on my picture there. 3 out of the 9 pieces are shaded in. Now that they are the same denominator, I can use my rule for that. So I leave that denominator of 9 alone, and I'm going to add the top. And 3 plus 2 is 5, so my answer is 5/9. Let's have a look at this one. So what I've got here is I've got quarters and I've got sixths, all right, and I'm subtracting them. So let's think about what that looks like. So the first one I'm going to separate into that's 4 roughly equal sized pieces, and the other one I'm going to do into sixths. Right. There we go. So I've got 3/4 shaded in, and I've got 1/6 shaded in. So because they're different denominators, I need to make them the same. So let's think LCM, lowest common multiple of 4 and 6. So I can do, well, I know my 4 multiples of 4 is 4, 8, 12, 16, and so on. My multiples of 6 are 6, 12, 18, and so on. Lowest common multiple is 12. And so that's what I want to do, is I want to turn both of these into 12ths. All right. So let's think, how do I do that? At the moment, if I take that first fraction, it's got a denominator of 4. 4 multiplied by what is equal to 12? And 4 multiplied by 3 is equal to 12. What I do to the bottom must do to the top. So that's going to give me 9/12. Okay, and so what I'm essentially doing is, if I go to my little diagram, I am separating that in from quarters into 12ths. So I am separating that out and breaking it into more pieces. Okay, and I've got 9 of those 12 pieces are shaded in. Do the same thing for the 1/6. So 1/6, 6 times what is equal to 12? 6 times 2. If I multiply the bottom by 2, multiply the top by 2. So that's going to give me 2/12. And what I'm doing on my diagram is I'm splitting these all, I'm separating them out even more, and you can see 2 of those pieces are equivalent to 1/6. Now that the denominators are the same, I can subtract the top. So 9 take away 2 is 7/12.